Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night of the regular season, where tonight on Top Split TV, we're bringing you round one of season 34 of Sunday Night Lights here from Okayama. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me as always is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. As we move into quali, Corey, big night for the big one, the first one of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's going to be a good one here tonight. Okayama, a great place to kick things off to start the season with an ex-Formula One track, although it's Formula One history, very brief. And this track has also been known to put a couple of kettles on and let Uncle Rodney start knocking around. So we'll see how these drivers go and see if we get any egg and bakey awards as we go on. But a decent strength of field to kick things off here tonight, and very great to be back after myself missing the last race of last season.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We've got a good one to kick us off with strength of field just under the 5K mark. So about we had 5,200 last season. It was a massive one. But we've gone in at just under that at just under 5K tonight with 15 drivers, which means we've got a good spread. A couple of our big names out, opening the door for some of our otherwise regulars. So kicking us off today, the international man of mystery is back as car number one for FPMM Oval Martine as he's getting the tyres warmed up, is one Dimitri Philippides. Man with pace to burn, Jose Louis Mella joins us again. Haven't seen him for a little while, but the man has got some jets in the Skippy. Neil Gardner, Captain 499, is car number 3 after finishing third in the championship overall. So quite poetic there with car number 3 on the bonnet here tonight. Steph Herman is back once again. Great pace. Real hard racer is Steph. Interesting to see how those two things come together here tonight at Okayama. Jeff Randall from UKNI for Gone Skipping Racing's car number 5 in the familiar green and yellow livery. Good to see him back. Tussled with car number 6 here, Vasco Sorosky, the head clown himself, in the previous race. Interesting to see if that's calmed down a little bit, although when it comes to the big one, the game faces are on. So we'll see how that one plays out. Jumping to car number 7. Speaking of having some pace, Mr. Christian Perez, former multiple season champion, with a new livery that says Dive Bomb on the back. Now, that's not usually his go, but interesting statement perhaps coming in to the new season as car number 7. Car number 8, Yannick Morale, France. He's back for another season. Very patriotic looking livery there, Corey, for car number 8, the Frenchman.
Yeah, absolutely. The blue, white, and red, I absolutely love it. It looks real good on track too. But car number 9, and I understand why you stopped at 8, is Marcel Brunschweiler.
Brunschweiler, I'm going with.
Yep, from DEATCH. Car number 10 from the UK and I is Paul Smithhurst, but he's not on track at the moment. In fact, he's not even in the server yet. And I think he dropped due to packet loss. Chris Wayne, also from the UK and I, car number 11 here tonight. Another one of the Gone Skipping races. Car number 12 from Central Eastern Europe is Yone Zorek. Car number 12 is going to be Juan Ramon Balo Garcia from Iberia. Great to have Juan back on track and ready to rumble. Car number 14 is going to be Nathan Verney for Locked On Lads. Great to see him out there. And car number 15, wrapping up the field, the second clown of the show, Mr. Gregory Adams. Good to see Gregory cracking it into the top split and just sneaking in, Alex, with a 2.8k I rating.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty nervous. He hasn't done too many races here this week, let alone, I can't imagine he would have been thinking he'd sneak into this one. But our first laps, it's sneaking in. He's P6 at the moment, a few to set the laps as Herman drops in his first lap. Morale all pushing down Mr. Adams, but it's Philippides with the early running. He's set the pace so far with a 42.8, which is great. Mella, though, I think between Mella and Perez would be the ones with my money on them to set the times and the standards in quali, Corey.
Oh, absolutely. They've been putting on an absolute show the last couple of races, running pretty hard with each other and generally just dominating the racing between them. Neil Gardner has put himself into the 5th position as he starts his 2nd lap. Jeff Randall actually just displacing him in the 5 car, sitting into the 5th position. Still a couple of guys coming around to finish their first laps by the look of things. Paul Smithhurst has made it onto the track now in the 10 car. And he is halfway through. Oh no, he's in the pits. So he went out for his warm-up lap, and it looks like he's just decided to start at the back in this one, Alex.
Yeah, that's it. Swarovski has dropped it on provisional pole with a 42.6. That'll set the cat amongst the pigeons. Just trying to find who else out there. Adams is just about to cross the line by the looks. Let me follow him. Herman's got a couple of purple sectors. Let's find Herman. What's he got for us as he rounds the final corner? Herman approaching the line now. Has 2 greens and 2 purples. What's that got for us? Only good enough for 2nd position. Wow, that's interesting. Perez, though, with a 42.8 on his first lap. Randall has got a purple sector as well. Miller has got another one. He's dropped it up. He's pushed Swarovski down to the 2nd spot. Oh, look out. Perez has pulled up. He won't be moving forward, at least in the quali standings. Randall's got a purple sector for his 2nd lap in the first one, although he dropped some time in the 2nd. What's he got for us, Randall? He crosses the line. Only good enough for the 2nd row there, Corey. It's very, very tight at the top, though.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Right now, our, top 11 separated by 7/10 of a second. The top 10 by half a second. Absolutely tight margins everywhere.
I beg your pardon. Sorry, Perez is on his 2nd lap. I mistook that. He's done 3 greens and a purple. Where does that drop him? Sorry to talk over the top. Oh, just on pole, quietly. Bumping Swarovski down to the 2nd row. Jeepers, sorry. Almost a commentator's curse in reverse.
Oh, just about. But he put in a 42.4, which is absolutely electric. It's a really good time. As the only car on track at the moment is Smithhurst. He's not going to have enough time to get any of his laps in. So I think he's just getting a side lap here to see what the track's like. As qualifying starting to wind down here, Alex. It should be a good race coming up, especially with how tight the field is.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Smithhurst not going to have time, as you say, as quali runs out. And as a result, why don't we check how they stand for round 1, season 34, Sunday Night Lights. Christian Perez will start from pole for Peaky Drivers with a 42.4, if you don't mind. 10th behind him will be his rival from the warm-up race, Jose Luis Mella, starting from 2nd. Vasco Swarovski for Team Clown continues his run of good form in quali that he's had in the past few seasons, starting out a 3rd. Alongside him on the 2nd row will be Steph Herman, some 2/10 off pole. Jeff Randall for Gone Skipping Race and the UK nightclub member starting out a 5th. Dimitri Philippides, the international man of mystery from FPM Ovaltine, out of 6th. Out of 7th tonight will be Captain 499 for generally stupid and slow racing, Neil Gardner. Marcel Brunschweiler will be on debut tonight and starting out of 8th. Yannick Morel from France out of 9th. Chris Wayne for Gone Skipping Racing, the partner in crime for Jeff Randall, will start out of 11th. Yune Zorek for Right Foot Breakers. Oh, there's a statement. He starts out of 11th. Greg Adams, the other clown in the field, making up our duo and a shutter, if you like, out of 12th. Starting out of 13th tonight will be the Locked On's Racing's Nathan Verney, just ahead of Juan Ramon Bello Garcia, who rejoins us and starts out of 14th. Paul Smithhurst seems to have some tech issues. Car number 10 starting out of the final grid spot of 15th, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. As we're just waiting on a couple of people to get on the grid. In fact, it looks like it's just Vasco we're waiting on here. It's always Vasco,
Oh, he's
but
probably
it
just
should
giving
be
us
a
a chance
good.
to run through the grid, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But it should be a good start to the race here, though. And good field, 14 or 15 to take the green, as everyone is now on the grid. As the revs start to rise, red lights mean rev, green lights mean go. We're underway for round number 1, season 34 Sunday Night Lights. And already they're storming down into turn number 1. A fairly tight second gear corner here, Alex, to kick things off. And it's very easy to run wide and let someone slip up on your inside before turn 2.
Yeah, that's it. The guys got underway pretty cleanly by the looks. Nothing doing other than a long line of skippies on the run down to turn 4 for the first time. Drivers all navigating a very crucial corner, sets up the best passing opportunity on the track down there at turn 4 at the end of the back straight. And look at this, these guys fanning out. Not yet. There'll be some action, although there's a move being made by Herman on Sorowski for the first time. Under he goes. Sorowski not giving it up too easy. Probably wants to fold back in, not lose too much time, but keeps the nose there. Compromised a little bit, gets checked up, as does Randall behind him. And now Randall under attack from Philippides. It's all happening here in the early stages of lap 1, Corey.
That's right, Alex. I think we've already lost Smithhurst. It looks like he's just decided to pull over and put it in the pits, as Zorek has gone for a spin. I just saw that was down in turn number 8. It was on the outside of Gregory Adams, and a little bit of touch left rear to right front, and around he went there, Alex. He is now going to be all the way down in P15 and looking to improve on that one.
Yeah, 100% as we run down again for the first time, or the second time I should say, through turn 1, the second best passing opportunity on this track. Costs you a little bit more than... Oh, there's some action out the back. Greg Adams, we could just see coming back on, but it was Vernie who looks like he's suffered out of that one. Why don't we just go and have a quick look at what happened? They seem to... Oh, one's gone deep, and they might have just lost it on his own, Bernie. They look to be quite separate. So, yeah, not so sure on that one. But, oh, let's get out of that view. I'm not sure how we ended up in that one. Sorry, folks. As we come into the hairpin for... lap 2, Randall's gone through on Sorowski. Sorowski's gone back twice at turn 4, once in each lap so far. He'll be wanting to arrest that development for sure, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And it's going to be fun watching this little battle develop between Randall and Sorowski. As you mentioned before, they had a little bit of a skirmish in the warm-up race. And he's hoping that they have let bygones be bygones, and they just continue to race on. But Randall showing quite a bit of a pace already starting to get right onto the gearbox there of Steph Herman. So maybe Jeff Randall, sneaky suspicious of him that he could be in for a challenge for the podium here in a minute, Alex.
Yeah, could well be, mate. He's got good pace here. He's had good pace for the last season or so after returning from eye surgery. Sorowski now assumes the position that he had last race, tucked in behind him. With the front 3, nose to tail, you've got Mella, Perez and Herman, who are very much the ones to watch at the moment. Surprisingly difficult to overtake here. You can take half a dozen corners, and you've got to execute them all very, very well in this calibre of field if you're a hope to get around the folks around you and get the overtake done, even though you've got some really strong threshold braking zones, Corey.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Alex. Turn 5 is a popular place to start an overtake, but if you don't get that cleared before you get out of the corner, then going through Revolver the cars can definitely on the outside make that back up, as we have a challenge for the lead. Christian Perez up on the inside of Mella, and he has got it cleared, and Herman trying to get up on the inside as well. That's going to put him on the outside for Revolver, and Mella will now settle into the second position. And Jeff Randall almost looking for a move, and there's a little bit behind them as I saw Philippides going off track there just briefly, Alex.
Yeah, mate. I think you might be a bit behind us at the minute, but you did call it as it happened, just a bit after, that's all. But we are back through the final corner now, and all that action that you described has seen Perez get away a little bit. And I'd suggest there might be a couple of guys who could bridge any sort of gap there, although it's only sort of 6/10 at the moment. It's a bit risky. I think the biggest risk potentially is Miller and Perez getting away, depending on, Herman runs a bit wide. That risk has just increased because that's put the racy Jeff Randall and Vasco Sorowski in behind, both of whom licking their wounds from last race. And Gardner, that one step back, almost getting dropped by those guys. These guys will be desperately thinking that as we see Herman get a little bit of the hippie shakes into the braking zone at turn 4, he well and truly feeling the pressure. I think, Corey, the front two getting away.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And if these two get away, then there's going to be absolutely no stopping them. But side by side go Randall and Herman. Randall with the big run up the inside, and he's going to get that move absolutely cleared like he was shot out of a cannon. And now Randall's going to have to try and chase down our two leaders. And it's going to be a question of if he can chase them down, because they're putting in some spectacular times at the moment, Alex. Christian Perez with the fast lap of the race, a 42.476, which is right up there with his qualifying time.
Yeah, that's right. We're only 4 laps in this time round. So early days for the tyres still to get up to their full operating specs. In the skips takes a good while. Some can activate them better than others. As we've seen, and the front two seemingly having that being the case for them tonight. However, the front two have almost got away. They're at 8/10, and I think Herman pulls back in. No good attacking now, because then it'll be 100% a lock that the front two are away, because Mella has hung on, and he's only now half a second behind our leader in Christian Perez, but these second three are just hanging on. The second group of three is hanging on by a thread, as is Neil Gardner, who's some 6/10 behind those three. These three here in Randall, Herman and Sorowski play it smart, they might just be able to get away. I don't think it's the ones in front though, although Randall's put in a pretty good show actually. He's only 7.5 tenths behind, so he's still in draft and still with a shot, as this front group stretches all the way down to Chris Wayne in 10th, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And it looks like Herman playing the smart game there, not even pulling out just to try and maintain that position behind Randall. Instead, he got right up on the gearbox of Randall, trying to take a little bit of the air off of the back spoiler, so he could try and get that little bit more top-end speed out of Randall to facilitate these guys catching up. It's great to see a little bit of NASCAR strategy coming into the Skippy race here. Not quite bump drafting, but very close.
Oh, bump drafting, there's a 4-letter word almost. Quite taboo in the Skippy circle, so yes. You can get a bit of aero push, but no physical stuff in these things. You won't make too many friends doing that. Now, Perez and Mella, they've got a gap of 7/10. Randall doing a fantastic job of hanging on there, actually, and making a little bit of a dent in that gap, because the Skippies are known for their draft, but it's not so much once you're over the half-second mark that you can guarantee that it's going to pull you in like a rubber band like it did in previous builds of these cars. In the background, there's a bit of action going on through turn 1. The last 4 in this gap in this group, this front group between that finishes with Gardner, and then it breaks a bit there between the 3 and the 9. The 9 being Brunschweiler on debut, and he's now off the back of Gardner officially. So these 4, Brunschweiler, Morale, Philippides after that 2-second excursion off track, relegated down 3 spots from where he started into 9th, and Wayne has stuck on the back there as Mella still on front. In fact, he's gone through on Perez, and Perez has given it up. But that has well and surely brought in Randall, Herman, Sorosky, and Gardner. Indeed, half a second back is right in there. Philippides, meanwhile, made the move at the hairpin on Brunschweiler and moved to the front of that pack. He would be the one in there that I would think has some chance of bridging a 2-second gap, but it'd want to be for a lot of fighting in that front pack if he was to have a hope, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And it's not going to be an easy task, especially with the quality of this front group of cars. But I noticed actually coming out of the turn 4 that Randall had actually bridged the gap down to below the threshold of the 0.5 of a second. We got it down to 0.4, and I think that's when Miller decided to pull the trigger and get back on in front of Perez, as these guys are now one big line of 6 skippies. And normally when we see the lines starting to form like this, Alex, especially after the halfway mark, that's when things could start getting a little bit dicey for some of these drivers.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And we do indeed have this pack now down to a front group of 6 with Gardner, Captain 499, sitting on the back behind Vasco, who has been passed by Herman and Randall in this one. Randall up 2 positions. Herman stuck in 4th where he started, although Randall now showing his trump card or playing the card early. Oh, beautiful braking there from Perez. Have to get used to the new livery for Perez. Randall now on the outside. Mella, great drive there. Didn't commit to the hairpin fully and then comes through the double left-handers in the infield here and defends there from Randall. That's great driving all round as Randall now coming under attack from behind at Herman, at the same time attacking Mella. Now, this is the problem that he had in the last race as well. He attacked for 3 or 4 or 5 corners in a row. And what that allowed for was Mella to get away and ultimately Perez to chase him down. But the gap was such that the pace difference for the chasing pack, which was led by Perez, was only all in Perez's hand, and he was able to get away and break him, Corey. So tactically, you've really got to pick your mark, particularly when you're lap 8. Yes, there's half a dozen to go, but you've got to be careful. You have to move forward in a pack like this. So difficult to do, but the risk versus reward. One position might cost you the chance at 3 more down the track if you do it at the wrong time, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex, and you really got to be careful where you pick to try and make those moves. Into the hairpin at turn 5, absolutely, that's a great place to try and make it work, and you're not going to generally lose too much time. But those 2 little hairpins of Redmond and Hobbs, those are really difficult places to get a run going, for one, and then to get a run out. So Randall really trying to pull all the stops here, trying to make a desperate move as we're going to go 2 wide for 2nd place. Randall getting the big hurry up from Herman there as well. And it looks like Randall has just squeezed his way up into 2nd place. And Herman almost trying to take 3rd, but thought better of it and slipped right in behind Mella. And this gives Perez a little bit of a reprieve. It's only to the tune of about 0.4 of a second, so his pack will catch back up to him. But it gives him just that little bit of breathing room as we get into this slightly more technical section to end off the lap. And we seem to have lost Alex there. So,
oh, sorry, mate. I had the thing. I was just saying that was such a big move from Randall there. In this sort of pack racing, you see that you can get boxed in so easily. You can see almost what was going through his mind in Mella trying to defend from Randall, but suddenly there were 2 or 3 cars that weren't around him the previous lap when he pulled off the defence in the way that he did. That time, though, Randall was able to take advantage of the cars around him and the excellent run through the corner to take a hard-fought position. Great driving all round from all involved.
Yeah, absolutely it was, Alex, and hopefully we start getting rid of some of this rust. We only took a week off. I mean, I took 2 weeks off, but we're both making little mistakes, but it's fine. It's the start of the season. We'll get better. But these guys now coming through turn 4 once more on to the big back straight. Now let's see what we have in store. Randall will be looking to try and make a move. You see Perez going defensive, getting straight over to the right side of the track. And here goes Miller now, trying to go around the outside. Randall up the inside. We're going to go 3 wide into the turn 5 hairpin. All of them equally side to side, and Randall coming out with the advantage. The battle is still on for second between Miller and Perez. Miller is on the inside for Revolver, and let's see if he's going to be able to hold it. No, Perez with a great run around the outside there to maintain a second position. And we are past the halfway mark. In fact, when we get to the line this time, Alex, 5 to go. So these guys already starting to pull the trigger a little bit on some of these moves, and Randall, the big beneficiary out of all of this at the moment.
Randall putting the moves on. He's got the bit between the teeth after the previous race, using that aggression and that angst to get the moves done on a couple of the best going around. Randall really staking his claim for this one in the latter stages of the race. We're into that final third now. We've had the calm before the storm. Expect the thunderclouds to erupt shortly as this pack of 6 cars looks to do what they can to take the big one out here. Fantastic move, fantastic drive from Randall, who's up 4 positions from where he qualified to lead this one with 4 laps, or 5 laps, 10, 11, 12, 35 laps to go. Jeepers, that always gets me. And but what we have now is the next run in at turn 4. What do we got for the hairpin lottery this time round, Corey?
Well, we'll wait and find out, as I see Randall's gone very defensive already. And visually, it looks like we could go 4 wide here, but we're going to stick to the 3. Herman shuffling around, trying to find any kind of a gap. Randall defending quite nicely, but Mella has dropped back. Herman trying to take advantage, slip himself into the 3rd position. But it looks like, oh, he got way too wide there. Almost got so loose that he slammed into Vasco, and he's going to be at risk here of dropping back to 5th behind Vasco. As Vasco will have the inside line up here for Redman. And let's see how they're going to do it. And Herman very nicely holding on there. And Vasco unable to do the same through Hobbs. So a little bit of shuffling going on, but not a lot of positional changes in that one, Alex.
Yeah, that was very interesting the way that one played out. Randall now will defend that inside line for all he's worth into the hairpin for sure. Herman made the mistake through the following left-hander and at turn 6, and then nearly cost him. He had to attack, but the defense that he then had to do from Swarovski has potentially opened up the front 3. They've got a couple of laps to chase him down, but it's about an 8/10 of a second gap. Oh, it's starting to get interesting now. Oh, they're side by side. Swarovski goes through. He'll be happy with the overtake, but Herman's second mistake now means that Swarovski's gone through, but they've lost the front pack for sure. They're 1.1, and this front 3 now will be the ones to beat. Although, I don't know, are they going to sit or not, the guys in the second lot? Because if they don't, no, they're going to go 2 wide. And these guys have just sat. They know. There you go. There's some strategy for you. They didn't attack. They went about as line astern as you could think through that hairpin with 3.5 laps now to go, because they know if they don't play silly buggers here, they can take advantage of that 1 second gap that they've got and leave it as a fight of 3, not a fight of 6. What's going on behind these guys? You've got a pack of 4 there led by Morale still. You've got Philippides, Brunschweiler on debut, and Wayne, the second gone skip and racer, having their own little battle as if it's... And I can tell you, I know we haven't looked at it too much, but it'll be the same action here as it is up front, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, as we're starting to get into these final few laps now, and I reckon Steph Herman is just pushing way too hard because he made a mistake in turn 2 last lap. He ran wide on the exit. It's very easy to do around here if you're just trying to push that little bit too hard. That the curb goes right into a little sand trap there, and you can lose so much time doing it. It's amazing that he was able to fight back, as he is flirting with the absolute line of that sand trap there, almost going over it every single time. And you can see how racy Vasco is behind him. He's watching Herman make these mistakes. These guys aren't going to try and battle for the top podium anymore. These guys are battling for their positions back here, as there's a battle at the front as well. Randall slipped a little bit wide coming through turn 4. They're going to go 3 wide this time with Randall on the outside. So he's going to be at the disadvantage as the guys behind him also trying to go 3 wide, Alex.
Yeah, Randall was wide because Perez sent it up the inside at turn 4. Look at them still. Randall, he's up the inside at 6. He goes through 7 on the inside as well. Miller puts it in behind, but he'll be threatening once again. Oh, they're pair of 3s here, and Randall still defends. Great defensive driving. Great attack to get where he was. A great defense to stay there so far. That's brought Herman, Sorosky and Gardner back in. That bridge, or that gap has been bridged. The one that they've got to worry about now with 2 to go when they cross the line this time around is the gap that Perez has opened up between himself and the chasing quintet it is now, Corey.
Oh, it's absolutely crazy, Alex. These guys are going to keep on shuffling here, I do believe. But the gap is out to 0.5 of a second at the moment. It was out to 0.7 at one point. But obviously with Perez not having anyone in front of him to draft off, that gap will certainly come down, as we've only got 2 to go now. So I want to know, Alex, who you got your money on to take out the first race of the season here out of these 6?
Oh, mate, I don't know who to pick. Look, if it's on racing, I want to say Perez, because that move that he put on the previous lap really showed authoritatively the strategy, because he knew Randall had been defending on the inside as he is now doing into the hairpin. So to disrupt that, he put it up the inside of turn 4, and that really opened up the door, and then it opened up the door for Miller as well. Oh, the sand, so close. Now they're going to go briefly 3 wide. There was overlap. Now 2 wide, and oh, the rear from Miller steps out through 6, back through 7. It's Herman now really trying to look for a place to get amongst it. He's a bit of the wild card, though. He's been struggling with what appeared to be a little bit of overdriving, potentially. Maybe hasn't raced here too much, but he's really throwing in everything at these guys. Oh, then Miller comes underneath. Oh, beautiful there. He's found a way to really show it to Randall, really try and disrupt him. All the while, Perez will be licking his lip, but he's not far enough away as they cross the line with 1 to go, Corey. I want to put it on Perez to begin with. Who's your money on?
I think I'm going to have to put this one on Miller. I think he's got the drive and determination to do it, and he's already trying to sneak up on the inside of Randall going through the first turn, not somewhere where we generally see overtakes happen unless it's in the lower splits. But these guys are starting to throw everything at it. Even Herman trying to get up on the inside of Miller for 3rd. But we'll have to wait and see how it's going to go at the end of the straightaway, because that's where everything is going to count. Randall right on the tail of Perez as they come into turn number 4 for the final time. And let's see how defensive is Perez going to go here, and what kind of attack will Miller and Randall have for him. Will Herman try and make it forward? There's a bit of a gap between Randall and Miller. Herman trying to attack on Miller, so I reckon my pick might be out of this. But look at Randall go. He's going around the outside looking in 2x2 formation. And that's pace laps as far as dirt oval racing is concerned.
Oh, the contact opens the door for Herman to come through. Oh, they're still caught together. It looks like they're actually stuck now. They're going, oh, wow, what car control? Oh, they're still stuck. Yeah, look, they're literally stuck together. Bang! The front pack's gone. Crazy scenes here to close it out. That's not what we want to see now. It's Herman who struggled. The whole race has come through to lead it with a quarter gun. Captain 499's hopped up onto the podium as well. Gardner, Randall still sitting in 2nd. Through the nose up at turn 6. Brought it unstuck. Speaking of, there'll be some dirty people in there. They will be filthy at that one. But it is Steph Herman. He won't be. He's taken out his maiden victory here on a Sunday night. Randall's come through. Neil Gardner's got P3. Finished the season in his championship position. Starts the new one in the same spot. Jose Miller has recovered for P4. Perez, I think, might have hung on for 5th. I want to go back and see what happened. Anyway, Swarovski's the one who's really copped it out of that. He's ended up back in the pits. I'm just going to try and find the thing. What did you make of that one, Corey?
Oh, that was just absolutely nuts. Super hard racing. I don't think anyone did anything wrong there. I think that might have been a whole bunch of net code and the cars not being able to separate because of the net code, which is unfortunate, but that is the nature of online racing. And wow, just what a finish. Good job for Herman after making a few mistakes earlier on in that second half of the race to come through and get the win. And well done, Jeff Randall, as well, being able to hold on to P2, being right in the middle of all that.
Yeah, look, you can see the cars were briefly stuck together, but see all the tyre smoke. That is so typical of when the cars get stuck together for long periods of time, right? And they don't look like it, but you can see the front wheel of Perez pointing to the right, yet he's going straight ahead, right? And then he gets rubber banded back in. All of that is netcode. It's a massive problem in iRacing, in my opinion. And you can see they're still stuck together. Neither of them had much of a choice with that, right? And then Perez comes out, and it's all happened there. Just going to rewind a little bit if the thing will let me, right? And we'll see what happens here, right? And then Perez finally gets released into the path of everyone else, and Swarovski's in a sandwich there, and he's the one who's end up facing the wrong way. Tragedy for this one. I think it all starts from when Randall passes Perez. Let's see, it's a bit after this. It's into the final exit of turn 6, or the entry. So they come through the hairpin, right? And you see Randall's on the outside here. I'm trying to find a good camera angle for this. This might show it even if the fence is in the way. You can see Randall's got the run to the inside. I don't know that he's quite there, but he says, yeah, I'm going to have a go. What does this shot give us? Perfect. No, he is there. He is there. You can see the rotation on Perez's car. There is overlap, but it's a last lap move for sure. And then the two of them, look, they're going to get stuck together. It's the only way to describe it. And yeah, again, in my view, it's a big problem for iRacing. They've sort of tried to patch it a couple of times, but it's the telltale smoke. You can see they're still stuck together. Although it's harder to, yeah, but you can see they're stuck together. And yeah, see, just the attitude of Perez's car. He's pointed to the right, but he's still being dragged along. You can see the front wheels there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not often critical of that sort of stuff, but if that's not there, those guys can. You can see he's still pointed to the outside, and then he just sort of gives into it, and the thing pulls him across to the left. Again, I'm not normally that critical of this. I know they're trying to fix it, but it's such a shame to see a race like that finish in that way, and then finally the string breaks, and you can see it all just ends in tears. So really unfortunate way for this one to finish, and hopefully we'll get some change on that in the patches to come. All right, Alex will calm down now, and we'll go and have a look at the race results. Let's go have a look at the final standing. Steph Herman, I don't know. I reckon he might count himself a bit lucky out of that one. He threw everything but the kitchen sink at it, and yeah, had an up and down evening in terms of what we've come to expect from Steph. The pace was there. Made a couple of mistakes, but was able to hang in there and take out the win. Congratulations to him in very unusual circumstances. Jeff Randall for going skip and race. And, mate, he was, in my opinion, other than that incident at the end there, was up for drive of the night. Strategically, and the pace he showed to bridge the gap that was opening up between himself and the front two. Top drive from Jeff there tonight. A last lap move that didn't come off. Notwithstanding, he has finished in P2, and I'm pretty confident that's his best result. He had a podium before, but it was P3 at Oran Park, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations to Jeff. Captain 499 returns to the new season. Neil Gardner with a podium. finishes in third position. Jose Luis Mella, after all the hard work from Iberia, he's finished in P4. Similarly, for peaky drivers, the Spaniard Christian Perez would count himself unlucky down there in P5. Those two put on a great show as well in combination with Randall. Fantastic racing throughout. Dimitri Philippides, after his early off-track moment for FPM Oval Martin, has finished in 6th. Marcel Brunschweiler, the privateer, on debut, has finished in 7th in a good performance. Yannick Morel from France similarly has finished in 8th. Chris Wayne, the other gone skip and racing driver, has finished in 9th. Yerne Zorek for Right Foot Breakers has finished in 10th. Juan Ramon Belo Garcia returns tonight, joins us and finishes in 11th. Greg Adams, the other clown in the field, finishes in 12th, the final point scoring position. For Sunday Night Lights, Nathan Verney for Locked On Banter Alliance Racing has finished in 13th, ahead of the head clown after qualifying in 3rd. Unfortunately, that last lap, Schmozzle has left him down in 14th, ahead of only Paul Smithhurst, who unfortunately had technical issues that took him out of the race, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's unfortunate for Paul. Hopefully he, whatever was going wrong for him, he gets that sorted out for next week, because he's one of the good drivers. I reckon he would have been right up there in that second pack, fighting it out for a decent position. But I absolutely agree with you, Jeff Randall. Before that final lap incident, absolutely the drive of the night, and even just the recovery from that incident just goes to prove that, you know, he had his head on straight at the right moment and was able to get it gathered up and going again. But it's unfortunate that that's the way the race ended. That was shaping up to be an amazing race to the finish. I reckon they would have gone side by side all the way through that final sector. But that is the way internet racing goes sometimes, and hopefully they can improve on that, because it sucks. It really does when races end like that. But Steph Herman, can't take anything away from him. He improved on the mistakes he made earlier in the race, and he came out on top, albeit with a smidge of luck. But, you know, all in all, still great racing out there, Alex.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Really enjoyed that one. We've got some of the big names away for work and travel and other things. Expecting to see some more in the coming weeks. And if this is what the type of action we can see, and we know Okayama brings out some great racing. Really looking forward to seeing what the rest of the season has in store for us. But we don't have any interviews, Corey, so we're getting an early night. Got an early mark for round 1. Really pleased with the racing tonight. I mean, I know I had my rant at the end on the netcode stuff, but it really frustrates me when we see something like that happen and take away from an otherwise great event. But that'll do us, folks. Corey, I know you've been flat knacker. What you got coming up in the week ahead that you can tell the folks at home about?
So tomorrow morning, actually, I'm going to be participating in the Winstell Racing League. We're going to be going to Las Vegas. We're in the Gen 4 Cup cars, running a 2004 season, and it's got a custom setup that's a little bit sketchy. It should be a bit of fun. I might not stream that one, but I'm going to see about making that one into a YouTube video. If I make it into the race. Normally a lot of people vying for 43 positions, and I'm not the greatest of oval drivers, apparently. On Wednesday, for the Output Racing League, we will be back, and we will be running at, once my window loads, going to be going to Bristol, I think, Road America. So that should be a little bit of fun there as well. On Friday, I got a couple different league races to run, both with the Reverb Series and the Chaos on Road Series. And then Friday afternoon, I'll be at Pinjar Park for a non-points round with the Outlaw Carts to live stream them on Facebook at the Speedway Memes Facebook page. And then back here with you next week, Alex.
Mate, look forward to it already. And I'm just trying to think where we're going next year. Let me just have a quick look. We're at Brands Hatch, the Indy layout next week, which has its own unique style and approach. One of the shorter tracks that we go to is about a minute lap, if I'm not mistaken, and plenty of action as a result. But that'll do us, folks. As we said, make sure you go join us in the Discord community there, where all things SNL are tracked, results and videos and all the rest of it. The Top Split on YouTube, where we do stream in 1440p live in conjunction with our regular viewing on Top Split TV on Twitch, which of course is the home of the broadcast. But all the race replays are also on the Top Split YouTube channel, which all 34 seasons now will appear going forward. But that, folks, is what we have for you tonight. Make sure you hit like, thumbs up, subscribe, all those things. It really does help us with the algorithms and all those sorts of crazy things. But thank you as always to everyone who joined us on track and in the audience. Your support is very much appreciated. But for now, and on behalf of the Chaotic One, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say until next time, ciao for now.